Hello everyone, this is Babu Raipudi, Director EduBrick IAS Academy. I'm here to tell you about a few important things, that is, a very important things that you have to keep in mind when you're appearing for IAS. So I just made an attempt to tell you that being an IAS aspirant, I think these are the qualities that you need to imbibe over a period of time, so that you will be closer, little more closer than others to this lucrative and most challenging profession, that is IAS. Let's look at this. Number one, if you, the moment you have registered for civil services or UPSC examination, prelims or mains, whatever it is, my sincere advice, first ask a question to yourself. Have you decided to put at least 4 to 5 hours a day? Don't get scared, because this is a most challenging qualification across the country. A lot of students are trying their level best to make an attempt for this course. So competition is very high. Unless and until you consistently read at least for 4 or 5 hours a day, I don't think so you will be able to do this. In the sense, the moment you start stepping into this, number one, 5 hours a day reading. Number two, at least have you prepared to wait for at least 4 or 5 years? If you're not waiting for 4 or 5 years, that means you just wanted to have a quick solution. Maybe some cases, like 10% of the cases, many people who have started appearing for IAS, yes, they finished within 1 year also, first attempt also, no doubt. But this is not a course like a regular courses like MBA, BCom, etc., etc. This is a course which takes lot of time. So are you ready for it? If you think that you are ready for 5 hours a day, if you think that you are ready to sacrifice at least 4 to 5 years, so that in this 4 or 5 years you could get through this, then IAS or IPS is yours. So I hope you start thinking in this way, and you will have a mindset in this way. Definitely you will get through. The next important thing is, most of the time what happens when I was preparing for civil services also, what I was actually doing is I always keep following others. I always kept following others those days, because it's a common thing that we do normally. But I'm telling you, what happened to others might not happen to you. Gone are those days where only English medium students used to crack this course, but nowadays Telugu medium students, Kannada medium students, Tamil medium, regional language medium students are also clearing this. So you can't compare yourself with somebody who failed 4 years before. You can't always follow the books that others are following. You can't simply, you are supposed to follow the syllabus. Suppose if you are from MA Political Science, what is the point in reading some standard book in the market? You already have studied 2 years' time. If you are from economics background, you already have studied PG, and there is no point in following a standard book. My intention is, I'm not saying that you should follow a standard book. These kind of basics that you already have. Whether it is a book or a timetable or a reading or whatever it is, my sincere request: do not follow others. You are unique, because you, if you start copying others, you will end up doing the same thing in the interview as well. So final selection, you will face problems. So first, make sure, if in case you want to get an imitation or inspiration or motivation from them, try to take it as an inspiration or a dedication, how they prepared, etc. But don't try to read what they read, don't try to study what they studied, but try to go by the syllabus. I think this would definitely help you in cracking not only UPSC examination, any competitive examination. Next one. See, whenever you start reading for civil services preliminary examination or mains examination, the first important thing is you have to have a control over the syllabus. Focus on the concept, focus on the subject, and not on one single subject. Like, say for example, some of you would prefer reading a lot of geography because technically it might be very interesting, and some of you might not show more interest in history. Some of you might not show more interest in current affairs. You think, okay, out of 150 questions, if I leave 20 questions, what would happen? Some of you will not focus on what you call political science or Indian economy. There might be certain areas which will be most disinterested to you, so you will try to skip them off. Don't take a chance. My sincere request: don't take a chance, and don't come to a conclusion saying that this I read, this is enough. I'm expert in history, so this is enough. I'm expert in geography, this is enough. I'm expert in science, this is enough. I'm coming from science, it is enough. This kind of a feeling is one thing where people are, because I'm telling you, every subject, even though you have an idea, it takes a lot of time for you to have a concept knowledge. God knows sometimes if you have touched upon everything, and there is a possibility equal number of marks from every area you can get. So do not take a chance of preferring one subject and leaving another subject. The next one, if you could see, get ready for facing uncertainty. Civil services examination or UPSC examination is not like a regular qualification like an engineering or medicine or CA or whatever it is. Lot of uncertainty. Sometimes at times you feel like quitting. Most of the 90% of the students in this course have always thought of quitting, and those people, the 10% of the people who have never quit and who have been consistent and sticking on to the goal, they achieved. So there is an uncertainty. I'm telling you, unless and until you really know that there is a failure, you can't really take a precautions, right? So you guys have to first gear up and make sure you be ready for uncertainty. And if it is not, don't expect that 100% you're going to be successful. I'm telling you, while hitting the moon, God knows you might hit something else. Like, let's say, for example, you're appearing for civil services, and there's a possibility you will get into a group one or any group state services also you can get. So what? Because we need to have a reputed qualification or a status or a job. So this knowledge will not go waste. I'm telling you guys, this knowledge will not go waste. So make sure you are ready for this uncertainty. Next one, power and patience to endure. Sometimes you will be stressed a lot. You will go into frustration. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I mean my experience is concerned, when I appeared for IAS interview and after I couldn't get through with the basic marks, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 marks, I went into a frustration. I stopped preparing for it, and I could not bear it. Some of you would be having a financial problem. Some of you would be having support problems. Some of you would be having so many things. I'm telling you, if you go back and look at the interviews of those people who have got selected in civil services, you could understand what kind of troubles and hassles they faced when they were preparing. And they could get through, and they cleared. Your problem right now looks a big one because you are thinking that this is the only problem which is going to stopping you. It does not mean you can simply leave it, right? I hope you understand. You need to endure because this simple logic in life. You want something better, you need to undergo so many processes, so many steps, so many hassles, so many obstacles. If something is easy right now, I'm sure you're not going in the right track. If something is very difficult, you will definitely end up at a beautiful pace and you will definitely reach your destination. Being a civil services student, make sure that you have this attitude always. Next one, be persistent. When I say persistent, most of you will understand, okay, we will wait. Just by waiting, you won't get things done. Persistency is something like you have decided to become an IAS officer, you have decided to become an IAS officer, IPS officer, you have decided to crack civil services examination. What actually made you to come to this course? Then you would say, definitely my father told me, my mother told me, my friend became IAS, my uncle became IAS, I have seen somebody becoming IAS, and so on and so on. You would say so many things, right? So why, when you have come into this course, you have seen somebody and came in, then why are you quitting? Be persistent. You need to be persistent, which means you need to push it forward. You cannot just take a back. That is what basically I advise you to think about this course. The one who's not persistent but always having dreams, I'm telling you, you will face problems. Get ready for variety of this civil services examination. Suppose you are coming from science, so you would obviously love science. If you come from history, you would obviously love history. If you come from economics, you would obviously love economics. But the guys, I'm telling you, you are so fortunate. I would say this is a fortunate thing that you would be knowing so many things. Learning in this area is something wide variety of things. Get ready for learning science, learning geography, learning history, learning political science, learning current affairs, learning GK, learning sports, touch upon everything. Some of you would be scared to do all these things, but I'm telling you guys, after this, you will be the most perfect man. I mean to say, you got to be versatile. I'm not saying that you have to be a PhD holder in this. I'm not saying that you have to be a doctorate or a master in every subject that you prepare for. Civil services will never try to test deep knowledge, they will try to test your fundamental knowledge. Most of the cases, what happens is we know the subject, but we will not have fundamentals. So when you start appearing for this UPSC prelims examination or mains examination, focus on basics, focus on fundamentals. And those things would definitely help you to have a deep understanding of other things. So get ready for learning many things in everything. Consistency. Here is the key. If you really want to be successful, if you really want to achieve something that you have never achieved before, I honestly believe you need to study daily, regularly, religiously, consistently. Most of the time, what happens, we see the results of IAS successful people in the newspaper, and we will watch their interviews. They keep talking so many things, then we will come to a conclusion. Yes, we have to study. Okay, on that day we will study so many hours, next week so many hours, next month so many hours, and thereafter you would stop reading it. You would start talking about so many problems that you encounter. No, this is not one very important character as far as my knowledge is concerned. In any great course, if you want to be successful, you need to be consistent. That is the only key. Develop writing skills. As you all know, prelims is easy. I can guarantee you that if you undergo coaching or if you study basic fundamental like NCRT books, whatever books, in my next video probably I will come up with books that you are supposed to read, if in case with coaching or without coaching. But I'm telling you, if you really want to be successful in this UPSC civil services course, you are supposed to practice a hell lot of writing. I'm not saying that 3 hours 4 hours would help you to get good command over writing, but you should be at ease when you start writing. So make a habit of writing every day, and never come to a conclusion that this is sufficient or that is sufficient. So write every day. Focus, because you have decided to become IAS, IPS. The first thing that you have to do is focus only on one thing. Some of you, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do MBA, I want to do MA. You can do something, but your main focus has to be on this. You just focus and just focus. Don't try to have any deviations. The day you have deviations, the day you start thinking that I have not done, if I don't do that, I will be useless, I will be unemployed. If you go on thinking like this, you will face a lot of problems. So when you are into civil services, my sincere request is that you have to focus completely on this. Chalo guys, one more important thing I want to tell you. This UPSC civil services examination is going to make you an IAS officer, is going to make you an IPS officer, IRS officer, IFS officer. In all these courses, if you could see carefully, there is something that is service is involved. Your intention has to be good. If your purpose is good, the whole universe is going to help you. Why are we failing in most of the courses? Because we always wanted to have a selfish gains. We want to become IAS because we will have reputation. That is not the one. If your attitude, character, personality development is only towards reputation, money, fame, name, etc., which means your intention is not actually the holistic, right? Your intention is basically selfish. I don't know whether you believe it or not. In any course, if your intentions are good, the whole universe will come and help you. 100% you're going to be successful. So I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please kindly subscribe. And I'm going to come up with a lot of videos related to Indian economy and other motivational stuff that are required for UPSC civil services examination aspirant. Good luck. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.